Good morning. Welcome to 3 Minute Man. I hope you're doing well today. On Tuesdays, from this point forward, until I change my mind once again, we're going to be talking exclusively about Jesus and his ministry and what he did for those 3 years on Tuesdays. So this morning we're going to be looking at John chapter 2. In John chapter 2, at verse 13, we read this. It says, "Now the Passover of the Jews was at hand, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. And he found in the temple those who sold oxen and sheep and doves and the money changers doing business, and he made a whip of cords. He drove them all out of the temple with the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money and overturned the tables. And he said to those who sold doves, 'Take these things away, do not make my Father's house a house of merchandise.' Then his disciples remembered that it was written, 'Zeal for your house has eaten me up.'" A lot of folks today, if Jesus would have done this, a lot of folks today, they want to talk about how, well, concerning sin, that we need to be more compassionate, and we need to be more patient, and we need to be more loving. And what they mean by all of that is we need to ignore sin more, rather than rebuking sin. Right? They say, where's the compassion? Where's the love? Where's the patience? And what Jesus says is, where is the zeal for his house? From all these folks, from everyone who claims to be Christians, where is the zeal for the kingdom? Because the problem that the Jews were having was they did not care about holiness. That's the problem. The Lord turned over the tables and he drove people out. In the other accounts, because Jesus actually did this twice, he actually prevented people from coming in. What would people say today if someone actually drove people out of the church building and prevented other people from coming in the church building? What would they say? They would probably think that they were crazy. What it is zeal for the Lord's house. And please do not say, well, this is Jesus, and Jesus could do that. Jesus is our example. And what Jesus was doing was he wanted to make sure that the Lord's house was what it needed to be. Because if we read the accounts and put them all together, what the Lord's house needs to be is it needs to be a house of prayer, it needs to be a house of praise, it needs to be a house of teaching, and it needs to be a house of healing. We cannot turn something holy into something common. And that's what a lot of folks want to do. They want to do it with the Lord's church, and they want to do it with themselves. And they need to remember that they are sanctified, they have been justified, they've been cleansed from their sins, and they've been set aside for a purpose. And that purpose is holiness. What would folks say today if someone started turning pews over and they started driving people out of the church building? But it just may be that that is what needs to happen, because people need to have zeal for the house of the Lord. I hope you've enjoyed this study today. I hope you take it seriously. As you go about your day today, be a blessing to someone else. Fulfill the Lord's purpose in your life. Follow the Lord. God bless you. Be a blessing to someone else. Tune in tomorrow morning. Thank you for studying with us today.